Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? Happy Friday, everybody. Although it probably isn't the happiest Friday for a lot of us, but hey, it is what it is. So yeah, I am Dan from Trading with Dan. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin 4-hour charts. Yes, so pretty much in sympathy with the stock market. You can see we had a nice little pump up and then a pretty aggressive dump. If we just quickly switch over to the S&P, I mean, you can literally see the exact price action. We had a nice little pump up, tried to get through this important resistance level. Were very swiftly rejected all the way back down, actually below the next level, and we are currently at the underside of the next lower level of well, now resistance. So that is basically what's happened with Bitcoin, just the move up and then the aggressive move down. We've hit a level of support for us also, this level here around 38,500. We have got this lower level down here around 36,000, but pretty much, as I have been saying for a while now, we are pretty obviously just going to be following this asset, following equities. So if they get back above here, can get back above 4,500, can try and make their way back into this area and have a decent close today relative to where we are now. It's obviously not going to be a decent close relative to much else recently, but a decent close relative to where we are now. Then yeah, maybe Bitcoin can try and get its way back into the well, basically back towards 40,000. But clearly that is for Bitcoin itself, it's going to be an area of resistance. But for for stock markets, I mean, they can keep bouncing higher, just obviously depending on depending on the whims of pretty much the Fed, that is going to start to look at this as a bit scary. We can also see, if we want to look at the 10-year is easing off in the face of this move, because this is potentially pricing in a recession, starting to price in a recession where obviously rates will be lower and not higher, and inflation will be lower and not higher. So the fact that we're having this move down and not an aggressive move up in the 10-year yield, to me personally, indicates that things are looking bad. And yeah, it is potentially starting to price in obviously a slight increased probability of a recession. But what also it will mean is that it just gives the Fed scope to do whatever it wants to do. If the yields are easing off, and we can see as well the dollar index as well not having a spectacular move to the upside in the face of this risk off, because it too probably sees there are extraordinary measures that may come out of left field at some point, but nonetheless it is at this resistance area. We break back above, we will probably find ourselves quite nicely back into this range in the deep 96s. However, if we were to get rejected, then yeah, maybe we come back down and test the bottom end of this range. We'll actually draw a horizontal in here, because this will pretty much probably be like an important midpoint of the range there, where we could bounce off. But yeah, oil easing off slightly as well. Again, potentially indicating a bit of a recession. Obviously, we've had drone strikes and things in from the Middle East. I believe they were on the UAE sites. From the Yemenis, but yeah, that obviously hiking up oil prices a bit. Drawdowns in Cushing and Cushing Oklahoma as well. Basically, there are structural factors driving up oil here, but easing off from a high level here. In sympathy with the stock market, I believe, because obviously, if the stock market potentially crashing is gonna basically trigger a recession, that is gonna be bearish for oil prices. So yes, what else do you want to look at here? Not the gold silver ratio. Look at the, well, yeah, as you can see, silver making a move up here. The gold silver ratio making a move down as well, and also the gold price itself easing off a little bit after this after getting above this 840 level. So it'd be interesting to see how gold does react We do know the gold selling fairies will always gold selling goblins will always come out and whack this back down. But we shall see. We shall see. At some point, it will uncontrollably move to the upside. But well, when that point is that point at literally at the end of the end? We shall have to see. What else do you want to look at? I mean, if you want to look at some important levels, we've also got Nas coin hitting an important support level here. Kind of got a hold here. If not, it could be curtains. So with potential buying, potential bounce in the Nasdaq there. The Dow, haven't got the level drawn in, but you can the eye test can kind of show you that if we were to draw a horizontal level in, it's going to be around this area. I probably would draw it here. So I mean, I was looking at these levels are across here rather than this exact level here, but that has taken us exactly to that level. So yeah, the Dow kind of needs to bounce from here as well. Russell is just pretty much wrecked. Not really a lot going on for the Russell, pretty much in free fall. You could probably draw a horizontal level with here, which is basically exactly where we're at now. Like to the dot. So we are at levels where we could get a bounce into Friday, but I mean yeah, I mean we could get a bounce into Friday. If not, it's gonna look bad for the open on Monday when people digest these dire looking charts if we are here or lower at the close of business close of the US today anyway. So yeah, pretty interesting. However, if we do bounce, stocks do turn around from here, the Fed does come out, do something, say something, there is something that catalyzes the move up, then if we do get back above 42, could look very good. And then the next time Bitcoin gets back above 43.5, we probably will be on our way for a nice medium term run up that, like I said in yesterday's video, may not take us to new all-time highs, but will probably take us to wherever our significant bounce is going to reach. But yeah, it's been pretty relentless move down, no real massive retrace. We will have to have a massive bounce at some point. Markets don't move in straight lines, they meander around. So we will have to have that upwards meander at some point, but like I've also been saying, it depends where it comes from. That point where it comes from obviously is the all important level. Does it come from here? Does it come from 36, 35,000? Does it come from 33,000? Does it come from 30,000? We shall have to see. We will all be watching this in real time. So yeah, let's just hope stock market there can be some bottom fishing in stocks into Friday. Maybe some shorters taking profits, but I mean, I don't think the shorters rule the equity markets. They may have control over leveraged illiquid crypto markets, but they don't have too much control over stock markets. But yeah, there we go, guys. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I shall speak to you guys soon.